All right, Miss Devereaux here again, and I am just going to walk you through your goal word slides and what those should look like. Obviously, at this point, you should have your title page with your name and everything on it. This should be saved into your Google Drive. So when you go to open up your Google Drive, the first thing you'll see is your title page, not this one. And this week, just because it's the first week, we're looking at nouns, but every week you are going to do the same thing. So here we go. I have created the first page for you just so you kind of know which week you're on and how many slides you have to create that week. The number of slides are going to correspond with the number of words because each word needs its own slide. All right, so here I've given you kind of our topic for the week, our objective. You're probably getting used to seeing that at this point. I just want to make sure you always know what your goal is by the end of the week. And then your goal words, so the words we're going to be focusing on. You should have already watched these videos from Khan Academy and already taken these tests, but if you haven't, no big deal. Well, actually kind of a big deal. You should do that. But I digress. So if you need to watch these videos again just because they have definitions in them, go ahead. If you double click on the video, like it says down here, it will play. If you do this guy and you click here, you can go and this will just take you to those quizzes for some more review, for some examples, things like that. Okay. So this is just kind of your introduction page. You're just going to leave it here. It's just to remember what we're doing this week and where you're headed. Down below, each slide that follows must have. These are the same expectations that were outlined on the website, that are outlined in the classroom. Okay? So you need the goal word easily visible in a font larger than other fonts on the slide. So if we go here, let's see. I would start, if I were you, by just titling each of my slides so I remembered what I was working on. So right now I've got noun, and then I've got pronoun, and then we're going to do the proper noun and the common noun. So proper noun, common noun. Okay, so here we go. And then they need to be in an easily visible font larger than other fonts on the slide. We played with fonts and all of that fun stuff in the last time we were in the slides. So you can go ahead, you can go in here. If you want to resize this box, you just pull, okay? If you want to make it bigger. If you want to get rid of this box because you think you're going to do your text boxes differently, you just click and delete. Don't worry. You can either Control Z, you can undo, you can just add a new text box. So this has to be bigger and this has to be visible. I want you to make these your own. I am just playing around here, okay? So do not just do what I am doing and think that's going to be good for you. So I've got it easily visible. One thing I can tell you is that's required on here is that all of your week 1 slides have to have the same background color. So this week I want my color to be orange, but I want like real orange. So sometimes it's hard to get like color you really want. Okay, done. Again, I am just playing around here. Your week 1 slide does not have to be orange, okay? You'll see these handy dandy red lines. That's just to show you where center is on the page. There we go, there's dead center. If I wanted to center my word, I could rotate my word so that it's bigger. You could do this in word art if you wanted to. You can really whatever you want. These are yours. These are going to be kind of your reference page, your tool, so whatever it is that you want to do. If you decide, hey, I've got my title in a place where I like it, or you finish building this whole page and you go, I really like the way this page is laid out and I want all of my pages to look exactly the same, which you don't have to. I just am a little bit OCD and I like to do that. So it's totally up to you. So I've got to have my title. I'm going to have to give a definition, all right? So you need to look up the definition of each word so you can understand what the word means. All right, so if I were to go into Google and there were some resources given to you on the website, I would go ahead, if I were you, and I would click on that. Let's see, I think one of them was the Grammar Monster. Yep. All right. And I want to go to the glossary, and I am looking at nouns. All right. So what is a noun? A noun is a naming word. To me, that makes no sense. So I'm going to read a little bit farther. A noun is a word for a person, place, or thing. Everything we can see or talk about is represented by a word that names it. That naming word is called a noun. So, my human definition, which most of you have probably heard this one before. My human definition, I'm going to give myself a text box, is a person, place, or thing. Okay, simple. I'm going to, because I like to do fonts and things like that, I'm going to make this a new color. Don't get too crazy with your colors. Oh, see, look at that. Ooh, can't see it. So we're going to pick a new color. Okay, I want this box. I want this to be a little bit bigger. Remember, this doesn't have to take you 12 years like it's taking me right now. I just like playing with these things. If you do too, cool. If you don't, it's all right. You just need to make sure you get the information that is being asked. All right, so I've got my noun, so I've got my title, I've got my human definition. All right. So yes, this definition of the goal word that explains the word in a way that makes sense to you. A person, place, or a thing. I understand that, okay? You need to give an example of the goal word. Okay, so it's not a compound sentence, it's a noun, so we're going to give an example of a noun. If we go back over here, it gives us some examples. We've got lion, cake, computer. Sometimes, though, it will be an emotion. So bravery, or a distance, a mile. Oh, there's an ad trying to play in the background here.
The city.
Oh dear. Okay. So it could be, here's a whole bunch. So people's names, animals, places, objects, substances, qualities, actions, measures. All right. Oh boy, look at this. Common and proper nouns. Those are your next slides. So if you use the resources I give you, they're pretty helpful. So we need an example. I like Aardvark. I wonder if in their image library, and you don't have to do this, I want to find a picture of an aardvark. This is aardvark. And it's going to be really big. Apparently this is explaining I don't know what to you. Okay, but an aardvark is a thing. What else is a noun? Let's get something else. Let's get an emotion. So look at what I'm doing here. Instead of listing just because nouns are person, place, or thing, I'm including images instead of just giving an example using a word. This won't always work. It just works for nouns. Happiness is a noun. Here we go. This looks happy to me. Woohoo! All right. So I've got my example, and I've got a background color. And I think, wow, I really like the way I've laid this out. I want to do that for my pronouns, my proper nouns, and my common nouns, if that's the case. If you right-click on here, okay, so that's just, I just right-clicked, and then you can duplicate the slide. You can also go up to, I don't ever use these tabs. There we go. You can do duplicate, so it looks like it's Control D for duplicate, or you can click here and boop, it'll give me that. If I click on it, then I'm going to change this guy to be a pronoun. Obviously, you'll need to do some tweaking. You'll have to remove these things. Okay, but then I can put my new definition here. If that's what you're going to do, then you can delete these slides out. You delete, you can go right click and delete. Okay. You can make sure the slide is highlighted and delete, or you can just hit delete on your keyboard. Okay. But you just have to make sure that you have the same number of slides as you have goal words. All right. Once you've completed all the slides, you've made sure you've got everything here. Not only is the list of what you need here, it's also in the website, it's also in the classroom. I've got it lots of places for you. So just make sure you've met all of the requirements. And then if you click on this link here, it's going to take you to the Google Classroom. Okay, so we're at the slides. Yours obviously looks different than mine, and you'll submit here by attaching from your drive. There's a video on how to do that in the Google navigation. If you've forgotten, no big deal. Go watch that video. It's a good refresher. If you need help or you have any other questions, make sure you're watching videos. Make sure you are trying to problem solve on your own. But if you can't, please email me, give me a call. I can walk you through this, but just make sure you've met all the requirements. And then each week you'll go in here and you'll just do the slides for that week. Okay, I've got it all set up for you already with the number of slides you have to do, the submission page, videos. So you're just kind of filling in the blanks at this point. Good luck.